Hey, Dan here. Welcome back to Vinyl Fury. Been a minute as usual. Gonna do I assume, a pretty quick vinyl update video. I haven't brought much new stuff in for quite a while. No new releases since, I think, that Deftones record in October. And then I actually did end up at a record store probably a couple months back and actually picked up a few things, which was something I hadn't done in a bit. So one thing that I ordered because I I just wanted a better copy of it, and I'd been looking at this one for quite a while. And by the time uh, I decided I'm just going to go for it, then it was out of stock. So I just waited and waited, and I sold the old copy that I had, and then I finally got it. So this is the second album from A Perfect Circle. It's called 13th Step, and it came out in 2003. And I had a reissue from 2000, I think it was from 2009, and it was okay. It was a bit noisy at times, and at least one, maybe two of the sides were a bit off center. Of course, one of the songs is a slow, acoustic, sustained note kind of song, so it's got that one, right? Wow and flutter. And it was annoying, and every time I played it, I was like, well, I wish this was a bit better. Sonically, it was okay, but I knew it could be better. So this, of course, is the music on vinyl pressing from probably 2014. Yeah. So it's a much better pressing, and I would say sonically it's better too. It's just music on vinyl tends to have just a smoothness to it. Even if it's not particularly amazing sounding, it's pretty consistently good, solid. And they're always great pressings from Record Industry in the Netherlands. So I sold my old copy for something like $20, spent 30 something on this, and I'm glad I did. This was definitely the copy to get. And then at the record store a little while back, I saw this, which I had never heard of, but it's also music on vinyl pressing. So this is Ornette Coleman, Chappaqua Suite. I think I'm saying that right. And this is originally, as I understand it, commissioned for a film in the 60s. And the director thought it was too good for his movie, so he offered it up to be released as just an album. So and there are pictures from that film in here. And like I said, this is a music on vinyl reissue, and when I saw that, and the price was pretty reasonable for pretty much near mint condition copy of this relative to what I was, seeing online. It seemed like a good deal, and I only have one other Ornette Coleman record, so I figured it'd be a good chance to have another. And I gotta say, upon first listen, it was a little more far out, a little more avant-garde than I was expecting, but it's great. And as far as the pressing, of course, great pressing, and the sound seemed pretty good to me. I felt a real sense of space in the studio from this recording. So yeah, definitely gonna hang on to that. And I got a couple other $2 records, I think they were, just to take a chance on. This is one of them which I have listened to and I'm not going to keep. It's from a group called Ancient Future, and the album's called Quiet Fire. Both of those names I think are cool. Either one of them could make a great band name, I think. And this is from Narada Records, which I only started seeing pretty recently, even though they're from the 80s, a la Windham Hill. And I was hoping for like a Windham Hill vibe from this, but it was way more cheesy than that. And I think I only played the first side. I was just not into it. Caged Lion Escapes, Mountain Song, Hillside View, Candlelight. I think you get the picture. Sometimes I'm into that vibe, that, I guess, new age vibe, but this didn't quite work. Great artwork, though, and like I said, great name. But I'll pass that on. There's another 3 or so from around the same time period that I haven't quite listened to yet. So there will be at least one more vinyl update before I'm just out of stuff in that regard. But today I'm going to at least do a couple of random records videos while I'm all set up here. So I'll do those. While I'm thinking about it, I think I have mentioned this at least once in the past, but maybe not. My sister and I started a podcast together about 1.5 years ago. And I don't know, maybe some of you might be interested in it. So she and I were raised in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So we grew up Mormon. And while I stopped participating as soon as I could, some 17, 18 years ago, she was a diehard member. She even served a mission for the church for 18 months until about 2.5 years ago, after I had already been doing a deep dive for 18 months to 2 years. Because when I left, I just left it well enough alone. I wasn't especially critical. I wasn't especially antagonistic or outspoken. I just didn't want to participate. But later in life, it occurred to me, everyone's still expecting me to come back and be a part of this at some point, I think. I really don't think I'm going to, but I should know why not for myself. I should have a real reason why based on what I would be expected to believe and do and adhere to in my life. And I should have a better explanation for what it all is and what it all means and how I feel about it, truly. So I spent a good deal of time researching it and definitely coming to some pretty hard conclusions about why I would not be a member, so much so that I, for that whole time, I was still technically a member on record. And I removed myself from that legally. So, to my complete surprise, my sister followed suit a little while after. And so we started this podcast as a way of her kind of talking through that with me. And in hopes of, first of all, just for us to have these conversations, because we were having such great conversations in this process as I was talking to her about what I was learning and feeling about it, asking her questions about what she understood. And when she didn't, I would ask, why? Why don't you know this? And eventually she asked herself that question and did her own critical thinking and made her own decision as well. So we've had some great discussions. We've been doing them in seasons of 10 episodes so far. So currently we're publishing the 3rd season. We're about halfway through. The reason I thought to bring it up is because lately, the last couple of episodes, I've actually experimented with incorporating video. So we have a YouTube channel and all the podcast episodes are there in audio form. And we've started uploading clips of video from those episodes. Because in order for me to do like a full production like this with the camera plus all the audio, it's virtually impossible to do it the way I want to do it. Because somebody would have to man those cameras all the time to make sure they don't stop, or a battery doesn't die, or a card doesn't fill up. And I can't do all that while I'm trying to, actually have a good discussion. So I've been trying to capture everything I can and then do something with that. And I've been able to make some good clips so far. So 3 of those, I think, are up so far. And there'll be a few more, and then I'll try to do more as we go along. But all the full episodes are available wherever you get your podcasts. So, and we're not just talking about the Mormon Church. The first season is mostly focused on that. And then we've been branching out into talking about religion as a whole, atheism, books that we've read, just other bigger ideas and thoughts, philosophies, and such. And it's the two of us as siblings, as ex-Mormons, talking our way through moving on and being better and doing better. So we're having a great time. All the links and stuff will be down below. The podcast is called Siblings in Zion. It's a play on the song, the hymn titled Sisters in Zion from the Mormon Church. So we just kind of played on that. So I'll leave you with that. Check it out if you wish. And I'll do a couple more random records polls that'll show up in a little bit. And so until then, thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy your music.